Hello, folks. I don't know how to feel about the fact this is the third stream in a row that's actually airing on time. Of course, last stream hasn't been uploaded yet because I've had a weird fortnight, but there we go. But welcome one and all. My name is Ryan, or Comrade Bubbles. Quick, usual disclaimers. I do not speak for Onyx Path, nor is this project official material. All views and opinions expressed are my own, and this material is available. It's not will be. It is available to, air quotes, buy, because it's pay what you want, so you can get it for free if you wish, on the StoryPath Nexus. I'll drop a link in a moment. I'm merely a grateful fan with a platform. I am also disabled, so I do experience muscle spasms that can lead to, depending on which muscle groups they affect, because they can affect any group, can lead to my head twitching, unpleasantly to watch. I'm officially unofficial, it's true. It's a weird place that exists, this show, I feel. Also, if it affects my jaw or my tongue and whatnot, it can worsen my natural stammer or slurring of speech. That's just because I'm anxious normally, and then the disability kicks in and makes it worse. I do also struggle with multiple trains of thought, so I will try to finish one before going on to the next. If it is a long train of thought and you raise a point in chat, and throughout all of this process, please do let me know what you think, ask questions, etc., etc. I will try to acknowledge it and then continue what I'm saying. Otherwise, I will 100% forget what the point I'm trying to reach. Long-time viewers know I go on digressions quite a lot. But before we get into the bulk of the show, as usual, the best place to go for any kind of Onyx Path update is the Monday meeting notes, and the takeaways right now. Oh, hang on, I've lost the link. Oh no, the link's gone. Scroll. There we go. I had the wrong link in my Word document. Huge takeaway right now. There is currently a crowdfunding campaign for the Curious Cats of Mao over on BackerKit. There are 23 days left. It's at $25,890 of a 20,000 goal. So it's already funded. If you back it, you'll get something. If you back it, you'll also get access to the preview manuscripts, which lets you see the state of the manuscript as it stands, as it was at the start of the campaign. That will also, I think usually there's an errata period afterwards, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't had the money to back an Onyx Path campaign in a while. So that's kind of the big thing, and obviously there's a big push to get people onto that. There's links to a couple of actual plays, Red Moon Role Playing. Eddie, the creator of Pugmire, has been ran an actual play for Red Moon Role Playing. That's on YouTube. There's a link for that in the Monday meeting notes. There's Eddie talking to GM Talks about Pugmire and Curious Cats and Inspirations. That's linked to in the Monday meeting notes. The Crit Show had a game of first edition Eddie ran. That's linked to in the Monday meeting notes. The developer of the book, Lauren Roy, has provided a quite impressive blurb, an excerpt of text on how Smilodon. And there are, if you look at the, if you pay attention to the schedule when we get there, there's some actual play stuff going on as well. But apart from the big one, the other big one is the StoryPath Nexus Game Jam. That ends... that ends... Well, let's put it this way. Tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. EST, Awkward GM in chat right now will be kicking off the voting of the most popular release, with winners announced Thursday at 8 p.m. on, I presume, this very channel. So that's pretty hype. Yay, my baby game jam. Exactly. That's pretty hype. The Monday meeting notes has links to all of the entries. I'm not going to drop the links for all of them, because they're in the Monday meeting notes, and I feel on this channel fantastic, and I feel like I have an unfair advantage in that I can drop a link for my own entry, so I'm not going to. I'm going to step back from that. I'm going to be as impartial as possible, even though I think that everyone should buy again, it's pay what you want, it's free, functionally speaking, introductory adventure. Other things to note, that if you are doing any community content, the Monday meeting notes has an announcement about AI art is banned from your entries. Onyx Path will never have AI. Onyx Path will do not allow AI art in their books, nor in their community content, or in community content for their game line, let's say, which is pretty hype. Also, the GM's Day sale starts on Thursday on DriveThruRPG, with most of Onyx Path's PDF catalogue on sale, plus a spotlight on They Came From Beneath the Sea PDF and Roll20 bundle. They Came From Beneath the Sea is a fantastic game, and I believe that everyone should play it. Also, Awkward GM has a video, again, linked in the Monday meeting notes, everything we know about Curseborn so far, which is an impressive feat of research. So the schedule this week, obviously going to be highlighting... Oh, thanks, Awkward GM. Yeah, I completely forgot there was the Google Sheet with all of the entries on it. Yeah, so this week, obviously, Curious Cat and the Game Jam happening at the same time, so it's a bit stuffed, if I may say so. I got to say it without it being cursed. So all these times in EST. Tuesday 9 AM, obviously the show runs for about 2 hours, or until I run out of things to talk about. Wednesday 11:30 PM, StoryPath Nexus Game Jam voting opens. Thursday 7 AM, which is early for those of you in the States. The Curious Cats are Mao, Rats in the Tavern. Now, actually, that needs fixing. The graphic schedule calls that The Paw of Fate, which I believe is what it's supposed to be called. Rats in the Tavern is a holdover from the last actual play that was run on the channel. I'm going to make a note of that in the relevant server. Thank you for the subscription, Zach. Really appreciate that. I guess just please bear with me while I make this note. And by make this note, I mean just point out that it's... I could realize I could pause the YouTube recording, but we're doing it live. There we go. Oh yes, I think I said, but thank you again, Zach, for the resub. Yes, Curious Cats Mao, Paw of Fate, at 7 AM Eastern. What fool would they get to run tech for something happening at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern? If only it were a better time of day for me. Hi at me. But it's Curious Cats Mao actual play. If you like my face or my voice, or you like a couple of other people on the channel, you're probably unsurprised to learn that Eddie is going to be running it. Please do tune in for that, check out the VOD, etc, etc, etc. Thursday at 8 PM, so much later, the Game Jam Awards for the StoryPath Nexus. I will try to tune in for that myself, so I may be in chat, but that depends on how things go. Also, I say that, it's also like 1 o'clock in the morning for me, so it's unlikely that I'll be doing that. I'll be there, but I might be, who knows. Friday noon, They Came From the Cyclops' Cave actual play. Warriors of Legend continues. Saturday at 2 PM, if you're not sick of Eddie by that point, Eddie is on Meet Your Makers, and Eddie is a gem of a human being, so you should definitely tune in and listen to that. And then Monday 8 PM, it's still going chat. Hunter the Visual is still stuffed, and it's still cursed, and I hate the fact that I read that out every 2 weeks. Media highlight is that They Came From Cyclops' Cave, Warriors of Legend actual play. Probably won't be here either, 2 AM for you. Curse us in the European time zone. For those of you wondering, I would be more active in like the Onyx Path Virtual Con side of things, except because it's all American time zones, it's very limiting to when I can actually reasonably appear. I'm sorry for the less than one of you in the audience that is disappointed about this fact. And then on sale this week, large scale space combat for Trinity Continuum Aeon as a tasty bit. Tasty bit. I feel like that's the thing that Twitch should, that as streamers, we on Twitch should not try to make tasty bit a thing that happens. It's fine as a book, but it just sounds weird. But that's really it. There's obviously a whole bunch of stuff moving through the process in books and projects and things, but that's for you to check out at the Monday meeting notes. So what we're doing today, bit of a break from the usual schedule. Oh, hang on, do I have anything else I need to talk about? Yes, the game jam. There is still time if you fancy powering through, pulling an all-nighter. The rules for the game jam are there, as is the judging criteria. As is the judging criteria. But something I, after the fact, realised I could have entered as like a super meta entry. Was the topic of conversation today. The how to use the StoryPath Nexus word templates. The short answer is don't. Microsoft Word is really awkward to do formatting and layout in, but I appreciate that not everyone can afford to buy Affinity Publisher or subscribe to Adobe InDesign. So I'm here today to talk about how you can to provide a video tutorial for people who prefer to video learning, how you can use Microsoft Word and the provided templates to make your community content products look as official as possible using all of the resources provided. As I was preparing for this stream, I made a few tweaks to the so that product's already out. You can download it, pay what you want. Recommended price $2.50 because Microsoft Word, please reward me for battling with it on your behalf. But it is, I have to give and get Affinity this year. Zach, it is so worth it for so many reasons. The reason I'm not doing an Affinity Publisher version of this book, because you can just use the provided InDesign templates in Affinity Publisher. Affinity Publisher will open InDesign files. The only reason I'm not doing that is because I'm still using Affinity Publisher 1, and Affinity Publisher 2 is out, and I expect it's largely the same but with some differences, and I don't want to give people false information. But hey, there's a niche for someone to make more community content. Yes, but I understand that people can't afford to or don't want to buy Affinity Publisher, which is a one-off purchase, or InDesign, which is a monthly subscription, but is the industry standard for better or worse. Whenever community content comes up, invariably there's some talk of when people start writing community content, there's the initial hurdle of how the fudge, self-censor for the win, how the fudge do I use Microsoft Word for my layout? So I figured I'd put this together, show you all. I hope to timestamp this on YouTube as well, so that you can just click through the video to get to where you want. But it's all written down. In preparation for this, I've made some edits, so I'll be uploading that later today, maybe tomorrow, sometime this week, hopefully. But everything in this video is like up to date as of what will be version 1.1 of the supplement of the guide. I suppose it's not really a supplement. But again, it's free. It's on StoryPath Nexus. It is simply called How to Use StoryPath Nexus Word Templates, and there we go. So I'm not going to walk you through the process of downloading the templates. You can find the templates themselves quite easily enough. I may add the links to the version to the guide. I don't know. That's more just a decision I have to make off stream. I feel a bit uncomfortable doing that, but I'll talk it through the powers that be, see if they're happy with me to do it. You already gave all your gold to the troll? That's fair. That's fair. Am I the troll? I do troll people slightly sometimes, in a good-natured way. Anyway, so when you go through to when you have your template downloaded, it comes in a zip folder with a whole bunch of folders. Before we get to the template itself, the first thing you should probably do is there's a folder called Document Fonts, and you want to open that folder. And if you can see the file types, there's a whole bunch of file types, but the ones you want are the TrueType font files and the TrueType collection. Each of those TrueType font files, or the TrueType collection, you want to right-click, and you want to click Install. This will install the font into your computer so that Microsoft Word can actually recognize it and use it. Most of the fonts should be pre-installed anyway, but not all of them will be. There are other ways to install fonts. I think just double-clicking works, but this one, definitely works. So that's the way I did it. Other folders in that, Trinity Continuum Word Templates is the one that you want. Trinity Core Assets is where all the pictures are. and we'll get to that later. But the document that I have open on screen right now is the TC setting and lore document. The document fonts folder is in there as well. Appears to have more fonts in it. I never realized that. Interesting. I need to install some fonts, I suspect. Learning on stream. There we go. Yes, I have the setting and lore folder open, but if you need this will work for silent. Yeah, so this is going to be broadly applicable to every StoryPath game. The templates differ on what they provide. Scion, I believe, gives you a table, for example, whereas if I scroll down, there's no table in this document. So a way you can get around that. If you open, I think you can do it in Paint, but in some image like manipulation and drawing softwares, you can, if you click the paint dropper tool, you can actually take that out of the program into a different program to get the hex code for any color you need, and then you can make the table match with color and stuff of that nature. I might do that at some point as an update for the supplement. I don't know. That seems like I'm going a bit too far, but this should work for pretty much all the StoryPath Nexus game lines. It should work for any word template that Onyx Path provides. It's just, obviously, you'll get different resources and different fonts and things of that nature within it. So, yes, this is the setting and lore template. You'll notice there's no stat block. If you want to include stat blocks, the antagonist and NPCs template includes a template stat block that you can use. And then there's also an RMC's template, which is for ready-made characters, RMCs. And that gives you a page of, like, here's their background, here's their description, here's their role-playing hints, and then a blank character sheet, which is really hard to fill in. But there we go. Because it's just an image of the character sheet. Anyway, that's by the by. We'll be working in this document today, the TC setting and lore document, which is the main document that we'll be using. I have my draft version of the how-to guide, so I'm not sharing any content that I'm not allowed to share or that I don't want you to be able to see. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that the example pictures do in fact include text and things from my Begin Again adventure. Purely because I was doing that at the same time as writing the how-to guide, and it was just easy to grab those example images. Also, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that usually my streams are a black background with white text. I prefer dark mode. It's just easier for me to focus on the letters. That will not work with the community content because all Microsoft Word does for that is invert the colors. So all of the black text in the template will be white because of the way it's handled, and you won't be able to read it. Now, there are ways you can get around that, I'm sure, but it's just easiest to turn light mode on. So you want to click File up here, and then down at the bottom there is Options, and then there is oh god, what was the exact phrasing? Where's my guide? General options, and then office theme, and then, in fact, I could just show you because I have that power. Nope, I'm opening all of the wrong things. This is the one I want. So let's just make this big. So File, down at the bottom it says Options, then you click General, and then right here, Office Theme. You can set it to white, dark, same as system, etc., etc., and it all works out fine. So that's how you change the theme. That's how you make it so your eyes are bleeding when you look at it. And then largely, it's kind of, I do have the powers. It's basically what you'd expect it to be. This whole tutorial assumes that you have your text complete. If it isn't complete, please go ahead and complete it, and then come back. But once it's complete, you can simply Control-A. I have so many Microsoft Word windows open right now, chat. You can simply Control-A to select all of the text. Then you click where you want to start your... you know what, let's do it. here. Nope, not the header, you fool. That's getting ahead of yourself. Oh, I'll just do it here. Why not? Yeah, this is fine. You click where you want your text to start, and you Control V, and it will import the entire thing for you. Please note, it will not always import it in 2 columns. It depends where you click in the template. If you click above where everything starts in 2 columns, it will put it into 1 column, and then you have to, with it all selected. Thanks for swinging by, Zach. Have as good a day at work as possible. With it all selected, if you simply go to Layout and then Columns at the top, and then click 2, it'll put it into 2 columns for you. I actually want 1 column because as you can see, it breaks all the image formatting if it's in 2 columns. So I need to get to the end of that, and go to Columns, and go to 1, and it fixes the issue. As I say, that depends entirely on where you click. If you click where it's set to 2 columns, it will be in 2 columns, as you saw. I actually need to make a note to... hang on 1 second. There we go. I have edited the document to account for that. So now we're just going to read what I wrote. So text imported in its template, check. Side note, if you are writing in Google Docs, no reason you shouldn't. It works. It's got a spell check. It is powered by AI, so it's a little inconsistent sometimes. Google Docs hates formatting, so any formatting you have put... Well, specifically, it hates transferring formatting into and out of. So if you copy-paste text... So I know some people use both Word spell check and Google Docs spell check. And like they'll write it in Word and then paste it into Google Docs. The formatting will almost certainly break at some point in that 3 into out of 2-step process, I guess. So be aware of that, and be prepared to fix things. I can't provide guidance on every possible outcome of that because there's just too many. So just be careful, be aware of it, remember to check afterwards. These pictures are going to be in the wrong place, mostly. Maybe not. So, with the imported text selected, click the proofing tools at the bottom of the screen and change the document's language. So, what that means is, depending on the template, and it's not true for every template, but some of the templates, as you can see at the bottom down here, it says Spanish, Spain. That's the language the document is set to. Some of the templates are just not in English. I think the current theory is that it's some holdover code from the StoryPath Nexus community content guidelines, where some of this stuff, where the copyright text seems to have been copy-pasted from. But you simply click where it says the language, and then you choose your desired language. I'm based in the UK. I've written this in United Kingdom in British English. So you can change proof and language to affect only the selected text or the whole document. Actually, the whole document. This doesn't always work for some reason. I haven't yet figured out why, but it works most of the time. And then, for some reason, this is always checked. Just uncheck it so that it will, check spelling and grammar. And then it will change. The document is now set to, if I click off it, anywhere else, it's now set to United Kingdom English. Again, change it to whatever language you want. It is fine. I've addressed layout. Headings. Important note about headings. So if you see on the left-hand side, we've got the navigation pane here. These are all heading. This is determined the awkward moment when American English is closer to British English in 1776 than British English modern. I mean, yes, for sure. It is. There's no denying that. It also diverges in quite some interesting ways. I'm not going to get into a prescriptivist-descriptivist debate right now. Yes, so headings are determined by the styles. So if I click on this, paragraph style 0, you'll see it says 0 in the styles pane. Paragraph style 1, it says 1 here. So where it says text and formatting, this is, so if you want to, if this is obviously a small paint, do not use a mouse wheel in this ribbon. It will change the tab. You can click the little pop out thing to make it bigger, and it will usually appear like this as a floating window, which you can't currently see. But if you drag it to the left, it locks it in as a pane, or docks it as a pane, and you can then, P-A-N-E, you can then scroll through the styles at will. It's just easier, because then you don't have to be manually searching through this gallery every time to have them here at the side where they're quite large. So yes, this is determined by heading. You'll notice right now that none of these match up with paragraph style 1, for example, paragraph style 0. Sorry, what was it? That is something you have to fix, unfortunately. And I didn't include that in the written text because I didn't think to for some reason. Oh, hang on, that might have just been later in the document. Where is it? Where did I put that? Oh, yes. That's fine. We'll get to that in a moment, chat. We'll get to that in a moment. Sorry, I wrote the guide last week in a flurry of activity. My brain, I remember none of it. So that's fine. So that's, just be aware, this is all determined by headings. We'll be messing with headings later. Then, of course, you'd be like, but Ryan, this text does not in any way resemble... Oh, just as a side note, because I was talking about headings, you want to set your headings accordingly. So paragraph style 0, if you actually look through like the Trinity Continuum Core rulebook, I can't remember off the top of my head any place that paragraph style 0 is actually used. The chapter style is used. That's down here, chapter. But pretty much everything is chapter and paragraph style 1. So my recommendation would just be, if you've got a heading that is the next section of the text within a chapter, go ahead and stick that as style 1. Remembering none of what you worked on is a very in theme with Game Jam. Oh, I mean, to be fair, I'm a freelance writer. It's very in theme with the industry, because you just go through so much. So you'll see, like, so this would be a chapter page, for example, and then it says setting. So you'll notice that obviously paragraph style 1 blocks out the entire column. So even if I were to set this to 2 columns, yeah, I can just demonstrate it. It still is visually different. I only need the 1 page, to be fair. Layout, columns 2. So it's still visually different, but it's not quite, obviously it's not what you want, because it's kept in 1 column. So what you can do is, if you highlight the paragraph style, you can set that to be 1 column by itself, and it will replicate, well, I mean, it will replicate this. This is 1 column just across the entire page. So that's how you do that. If you want multiple columns, but you want your headings to be 1 column across the entire page, just highlight the text you want to be different, change it to 1 column. And of course, then you can mess with alignment, left, center, or right, depending. So this is, I suspect, right aligned. Yep, that's right aligned. So make it central if you want, for whatever reason. So that's fine. That's all that. So once your headings are done, then you go through and change all of the text manually to the right. You want N. It's not normal. It's N. It's down here. Except now it's too small. This is the problem I realized. At some point between now and then, the things have changed. Like the template has changed. So if you click on the little arrow, and then you click Modify, it allows you to change the style itself. All you actually need to do is set N to be size 11 times New Roman, and it's actually now a readable size. This will... So if I'd set everything to N, it would have changed everything in the N style. You don't need to highlight it and change it manually each time. I was going to say something, and I can't remember what it was. Please ignore all broken image formatting. I'll fix that, you know, later when we get to image formatting. In fact, I don't actually need this stuff right now, so I'll... That's new. That's never happened before. Please bear with me 1 second. Just drop that down there so I've got it for grabbing later. Oh, I clicked full screen. No, 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 do not change. There we go. I don't know why that did it. What did I click? I must have clicked one of these. Anyway, that should be good to get rid of this. That shouldn't have broken anything. Well, it kind of broke the... Oh, dang it. Why is it like this? Anyway, this is a problem I don't have to deal with. Well, I don't have to explain what I'm doing, but just suffice it to say I've done something and I fixed the problem. I'll explain that later. I need my navigation pane and I need my styles pane. There we go. Problem solved, chat. Problem solved. So we've got everything in... Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. You can cut most of this first step, most of this first section out, text and formatting, purely by typing in the template, obviously. I included this mostly for people who have written it elsewhere and then they're just putting it into the template. Like if you're typing in the template, it's all set to the right font, it's all set to the right columns. You will still need to change the font size and do all the style changes that I'll be talking about later. But that'll be fine. Also, I'm not going to go through and put them in again, but you'll notice when I changed it to the N style, all of my step numbering disappeared. I'm not going to fix that. It took a while to fix for the how-to guide. Suffice to say, that will happen. Any changes you make to a font will break that. Also, if text is italicized or bold, there is every chance that the italicization or the bolding will disappear as well, because that's not the type of font that N is by default. You can just go and fix it, obviously. So that's fine. That's not something I want to fix or bother about right now. Just something to be aware of when you change it. When you change font. Oh, hang on, I've missed a heading. This will be important later. Although I have waxed lyrical many times about the importance of getting your headings correct as soon as you possibly can. Yeah, as soon as you change your font, all of the formatting that you had, usually, not always, because Microsoft Word occasionally likes to throw a curveball, but it usually disappears, and you just get the, as you can see, just the raw text. Ta-da! Now I have a document that has the right font size. So again, click the little arrow, then you go to modify, and then you just change the size to 11, and that'll make it readable. And theoretically, I believe, the right size. There are, as you can see, images to explain all of this throughout the document. So there we are. As well as a written instruction. It will also get rid of all your paragraph spacing. So if you have specifically spaced sections of the text, so that like one scene thread is together, you have to go through and respace it all. Again, if you're doing it already in the template, you don't need to do all of this. But this is just if you've written it elsewhere and want to put it into the template. Then we get to the chapter style. So this is supposed to be a heading, and the importance of headings is one, obviously it helps with navigating through the document. But two, sorry, 1 second. When you export the PDF from Word, you can export bookmarks, and it uses the headings to generate the bookmarks. There's other things you can do, but it uses headings to generate bookmarks. It's the easiest way of doing it, let's just say. But unfortunately, because what I think has happened here is this is an InDesign template that's been exported into Word. It doesn't work the same, and you can't actually put a heading in a text box. Microsoft Word will not recognize that it's a heading. You may wish to change the guide's name StoryPath Nexus to denote which version of Word it's for. I mean, it should be broadly applicable. It's for 365. It's for the most common. The most recent version of Word. I'll put that in the description, I guess, because adding it to the title is weird SEO stuff that is not going to work. Anyway, so Word doesn't accept headings in text boxes. So unfortunately, if you want to use the text box, theoretically, what you could do, I suppose, is... so this is just an image file. It's in the header. No, it's not in the header. Tell a lie. Ta-da. Technically, what you could do is you could type on the page behind it in the heading with the title that you want, and then you can put the image on top of it through, I assume, bring to front or the in front of text option. But that's just annoying. That's tedious. You could do it. The easiest thing that you could do is just the chapter style modify. If you make it white, and then if you go to format and text effects, right, you can't see the window I can see, which is a problem. There is a picture of this, I assure you, in the guide. Hang on, where'd it go? I think I included a picture. I did not. However, it's basically this picture. It's very similar. So with the style open, you can click on this box to change the color of the text. And then this opens up a whole bunch of options. And if you go to format and text effects, there's text outline and text fill, I think. And you know what? I could just look. Why am I doing this from memory? I could just look. It says... Oh, hang on. I've got too many Word windows open. I've got a window open somewhere that it's not happy to have open. Maybe. Maybe not. Interesting. It won't open. Anyway. And I try to close this window. It's an image, you fool. In there, you can change the outline of the text and things of that nature, so that it shows up on a background. Because if it's that's weird. Interesting. If it's just a white text on an image, for example, it's not going to look great. There we go. Text fill and text outline. You can't see it, but it's there, I promise. And then there's a second tab for text effects. I might throw in a screenshot of the window I can see that you can't. Who knows? It's just the way I'm capturing Microsoft Word, unfortunately. But with that open, you can set chapter to be a white... I didn't mean to do that. You can set chapter to be white text with a black outline, and that will show up on most things. Obviously, your mileage may vary, and I encourage you to experiment. I think that was the right width. I also set it to have a slight shadow. It doesn't really matter which shadow you choose, just I set it to have a shadow. Again, it just helps it stand out more from the the background so I can. Oh. So here we go. So this is what it looks like. This is what it should now look like. Highlight it, set it to chapter, and boom, you can see it. It's readable, even against this aggressively pink background. And it should also be readable against images. I have a big one somewhere. There we go, that'll do. Just as more of a demonstration of what I'm talking about than anything. That one. So, you can read it against the image, and it's fine. Obviously, you can experiment with it to find what works better for you. Maybe a thicker border, larger text. But that's... Get rid of all of that. Don't need it. Its purpose has been served. So that's how you you change it so that you don't need this anymore. This text box. This text box is useless. It will not do anything for you. I appreciate I've gone on a slight rant about text boxes, but now you simply click on the page. You type your chapter title. You set it to the chapter style. You put it into single column. Put it with whatever alignment you want. And then you use line returns to put it wherever you want. You'll notice it's slightly off center. I can't remember off the top of my head how to fix that, but we'll get to that later. I think it's a style indentation issue that I will talk about fixing momentarily. I believe I may have fixed it. Yes, now it's central. So there we are. But I'll talk about that momentarily. So that just says chapter title, as you can tell. I'm going to hydrate. I've been pretty comprehensive in the write-up of where you should look, which makes it very specific to 365. I guess it might be in a different place in different versions of Word. I've explained why you have to change the chapter heading. Yes, so then you do the same thing. You click on the arrow. You click on modify. I appreciate the pop-up menu doesn't appear. I'm not sure what appears and what doesn't, so that's why I've included a whole bunch of just images in the guide as well. So then format, and then paragraph, and it brings up this menu here. You will have to do this for each thing that you want to change. So changing it to changing the indentation to none allows you to centralize it properly, and then changing the outline level. Well, you'll see as soon as I click off, but it will put it here in the navigation pane. It counts as the heading, and then presumably you can do this with 0 as well. To be fair, if you wanted to use 0 for anything, it's exactly the same process. Click the arrow, go to modify, then go to format, and then go to paragraph. And then again set the level that you want it at. Whatever you do not click remove from style gallery. I've been there. It's embarrassing. Level 2 for style 1, and then that puts it as a subheading, I guess. You'll notice that at the top here there's a whole bunch of empty space. This is because. And if you click it, it will take you to show why. But because all of this blank space here is technically in the chapter style, so it's reading as a heading with no data, with no value. So you just click whatever you want to click, really. It's caused by placing the cursor in front of the word chapter and then doing some line breaks, some line returns, because it applies that style to the line return. But yeah, it's easy enough to get rid of, and you'll get the hang of it in no time. It's pretty easy to wrap your head around. Just experiment. A lot of this is experimentation. Obviously, just learn through doing. Where did I get to, chat? Here we are. So that's how you get the outline. This also sets them as headings for the export purposes later. So this is how you get your PDF bookmarks. So it's very important to do. If you are using the 0 style, you'll notice it's now changed color. And I think if I go down here, it will have changed. Yeah, it's now got the shading and the outline that I applied to chapter. That is because if you click the drop down arrow and then the menu that you can't see that appears, it says modify. In the pop-up box that appears, it says mod file style based on chapter. So the chapter style is the parent style, paragraph style 0. Anything you do to chapter will apply to paragraph style 0, but not the other way around. So you can change that back to however you want. So I know it's got an outline, so I'll turn the outline off, and I know it's got a shadow, so I'll turn the shadow off, and paragraph style 0 will reset, but chapter will not. Maybe a question that you cover later. Can the outline be used to generate the table of contents? I'll get onto that, Alan. Table of contents is not done by the outline per se, but that is coming. Do not worry. It's quite soon, actually, I believe, because I was like, at this point, you may want to check that everything's working properly, and this is how you do it. In fact, it is the very next step after explaining parent styles. Any changes you make to the chapter style, blah, 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 insert the table of contents to check your headings are correct. As neat as this looks, this is not actually a table of contents as Microsoft Word recognizes it. I suspect this is a table of contents generated by InDesign, but it will not work in Microsoft Word. So to put a table of contents into Microsoft Word, you want to click where you want the table of contents to be. So no, you don't want to do that, chat. You don't want to do that. Just do that. Why not? You click the References tab. You click Table of Contents. And then you have to go down to, again, you can't see this, unfortunately, but there is an option called Custom Table of Contents, which pulls up a window. I believe there is an image of this in the guide. Hang on, I'll scroll down to it so you can see. Where is it? There it is. This is what we're looking for. This window here, and this is how you get to it. So again, References, Table of Contents. Please let me do a custom table of contents. Oh, it's because I don't have anything selected. Probably. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, selected for it to go. Table of contents, custom table of contents, and then I changed this. So this, as I explained, this text is a bit old. I've refined it for the release text. So don't be beholden to that. Yes, I was just checking. Please wait while I pull up the menu again. So in the table of contents pop-up that opens when you click table of contents, at the bottom right there is a button that says Options, and that brings up this this window here, where you determine the level that things appear. So this is different to the outline. You can set it the same, which is what you'd probably be doing anyway. But this box includes every style available to you that is in the template, as well as Word's default styles. And by assigning a numerical level to the table of contents level, it will put it where it should be. I think this does the same thing as well, but this is just a redundancy in case something goes wrong more than anything, and I haven't experimented with this because if it works, why bother? But this should work. The outline levels box being checked You can't see it. It's this one that's grayed out down here. Because when I put together this text originally, I hadn't set the outlines. I hadn't done the heading style change with the outlines to generate this stuff on the left. So that's on me. I'll update the text accordingly to include this and experiment. Well, I'll experiment first of all, but it should do it for you. But in case it doesn't do it for you, here's another way of doing it. And as long as 0 and chapter are set to level 1 in the table of contents, it should be fine. If you want to include your like subheadings, go ahead and do that. You probably don't want to be including anything more than that. I'll just get out of this window that you can't see. Because otherwise then you'll have a third layer, like a third indent with more entries on it. So ideally you want like the chapter title and then the primary subheadings within the chapter. I need to get rid of that table of contents because it shouldn't be there, as you can probably guess. Please bear with me while I run up here, and we'll do the same thing. There we go. As long as you don't select any type of table of contents, it should give you one that matches the provided one. If you want the second, third level content, by all means go for it. Just obviously be aware that makes your table of contents quite long and maybe overwhelming. Ignore the page numbers for now; those will change. I'll talk you through that in a bit. So TLDR, the outline level. So if you go to References, Table of Contents, Custom Table of Contents, click Options. The outline level box should do it for you. If it doesn't, just set chapter style 0 and style chapter to TOC level 1 and 1 style to TOC level 2, and that should give you a working table of contents. It will also act as a hyperlinked table of contents in the PDF, so it's even better. Then of course there's the last step of formatting, more or less, where things get a bit weird. It's not the exact last level, but making sure things fit in their own section. So this, as it stands, is just a continuous wall of text, which technically it's fine. You can read through it; it makes perfect sense. But from a layout perspective, it's a lot easier, particularly when making changes to it. If you want to click Layout in the ribbon at the top, and then Breaks, and then Section Break, not Page Break, Section Break, next page. It will stick a break in immediately after where the cursor is. So usually you want to be clicking on the just after the last period of a section or a chapter or whatever it is. It will have a superfluous line. I just want to check I'm not breaking anything. There we go. That you can delete, and it will be fine. I will say that 9 times out of 10 from this stage onwards in the process, if there is a problem with formatting, it's probably a section break that's gone wrong somewhere. Section breaks are also how Microsoft Word handles when you have this as one column and the text beneath it is 2, for example. That's just a section break, but it's a continuous section break. And all that does is allow you to edit the stuff in the section without editing the stuff after it, or before it, depending on what you're doing. But you can still click the headings, it still takes you to the right places, etc., etc. And then the last step is if you want to use any of the provided things, like the sidebar, for example, you can copy-paste them. They work as you'd expect them to work. I didn't copy-paste it. Never mind. Right-click copy. Left-click where you want it, roughly where you want it to go. Paste it. This is just a text box that has been preset with an outline. and the font, the styles within it have already been preset. So the title is SB1 and the text is SB2. And because it's a text box, you can extend it to add more text, really. It's treated as an image, more or less. So it has the same text wrapping stuff that we'll get onto in a moment, but that's how you do that with sidebars. Same thing with the example box that is used to differentiate examples. And for the quotes bars, if you want to add quotes to your document, again, it's just copy paste, and then if you need to make it bigger, just click on the white dot and drag it down, or to the left, or the right, or the diagonals. So that largely covers text and formatting. I appreciate that there were some digressions, but hopefully it was vaguely useful. Things will go a bit smoother from now on. So chapter pages, how to deal with them properly. To the window, to the walls. Oh gosh, no. Now I'm stuck in mid 2000s. Thanks, Travis. I appreciate that. Yes, so now how to separate your chapter pages properly. I mentioned if you do anything that breaks formatting, it's a section break, and I did a thing where I clicked on a button and loads of random symbols appeared on screen. This is the Pilcrow, I believe it's called, but it shows all of the formatting in your document. So there's a dot between each word to show a space. These just show line ends, but it also shows section breaks. And basically it's just a way of... I can't remember the point of the chapter pages section. Again, I wrote this in the Blur last week. Oh yeah, it's all about just inserting a blank page. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. So, insert tab, blank page. It gives you a blank page. Have I covered tables? I haven't put any tables in because they're mostly provided, but if you really want to know how you do a table, it's just the table tab, and then you can't see it, but it just gives you a table generation. And then if you want to edit that, hang on. Microsoft Word, I hate you so much. There we go. You can either automatically mess around with it with the table design styles. Just honestly the easiest way of doing it. And that works the same way as modifying a text style, where you can go into it and you can modify the style, changing the cell colors and things of that nature. I had problems with tables because they didn't gel with the two columns. Hang on one second. So let's see if I can troubleshoot this on the fly. Slight digression, YouTube audience. Describe your problem while I embed this in two columns of you know what? I don't need it right now, so we'll get rid of the Pilcrow. Where's that? You know what? This should be fine. There we go. I assume it was just doing stuff like this, where it was... Hang on. I need an extra line break. Let's take a couple... Oh, right. Ignore that. I haven't done much work with tables. Post on the left column and the table would stretch over the right table. Yeah, so that's just the way... That's just a word thing. Hang on, 1 second. There is a way of doing it. I thought it was auto fit, but I could be wrong. Right, there's no contents in it. That's not going to work. Auto fit window. There you go. That's the one you need. Auto fit window will make it fit just the column it's in, I believe. Yeah. It's just a table layout thing. And then it will, unless you manually stretch it, it shouldn't do what you're trying to do. It shouldn't do what it was doing. A lot of time, again, it's just knowing where to experiment in Microsoft Word, because it's not really designed for this kind of thing. Microsoft Publisher is designed for this kind of thing, but that doesn't allow you to export PDFs. Go figure. Well, it does, but it doesn't allow you to export PDFs with headings, as far as I'm aware, and also the templates in Word. But yeah, just experiment with the layout tab. It'll be fine. I'll go to undo what I just did. If you really want to as well, while we're on Windows, if you want to color match, you can individually color every cell a different color if you need to, and you can just select all the cells you want of a certain color. If you don't want to change the table style, if you want to do it that way, that works too. And of course you've got to delete the table from the example. Okay, so yes, I have a blank page right now, you'll notice, with this style in it. We don't need that. We'll just click normal. It'll replace it. And then what you do is you scroll back to the top of the document and you grab this garishly pink background and you copy paste it. That's literally all you do. It's just copy paste. It's an image. Thank you for the raid. Would someone like to shout out Zyberlinks? But thank you for the raid, Zyberlinks. Welcome in, raiders. I'm running through a short tutorial on how to use Microsoft Word for your community content needs, and the templates that Onyx Path provide. Yeah, it's just copy paste. This is actually 2 images, but you can select it as 1, and it works fine as a placeholder. And then, as described before, you type your chapter title, you get it positioned where you want on the page. And it works as a heading. In fact, if you pay attention to the left-hand side of the screen, in the hang on 1 second, you'll get very used to turning on the Pilcrow, so you know exactly where to click. There we go. If you pay attention to the left side of the screen, the word template will once again appear. Boom. Can you automatically colour the first row of all tables a certain way? Bonus question, can you also automatically colour alternatively each row of the colour with a different colour? So, Psycho 4th, 16th, etc. in one colour, 3rd, 5th, 7th in another? Maybe? I've never really experimented with tables, because again, I've never needed to. But I would expect that to be a function of the table styles. I did not like that. I know you won't be able to see what I'm doing, but if you right-click it, it brings up a menu that says Modify Table Style. And then I would assume if you go into it deep enough, you'll be able to set things of that nature. I just have no reason to know how to do that. Thank you for being lovely and doing amazing things. No worries. Thank you for being lovely and saying amazing things. There are some scuffed raiders, so I'm sure will make use of some of this. Oh no, the game jam's not working. The game jam's working. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure something out to address a question in chat. That's not what I want to do. Honestly, there is probably a way to do what you want, Alan. With alternate stuff, but the table styles already include that. With certainly with alternate columns, rows. So you might be able to modify one of those styles to add like a third one in if you wanted to. I don't have time right now to figure out how that works. If you really want me to, I can do it off stream. I clicked the wrong thing. Don't mind me. I'll tell you what, chat. Go ahead and download this PDF from the StoryPath Nexus. Again, the link is in chat, and there is actually a Google Forms link in the PDF for people to make suggestions about what they want adding to the guide. Mostly so I don't forget what people want adding, but also to give you a way of asking for things to be added to the guide. I may not do it. I may not do it in a timely fashion, but if I deem it worthwhile adding, then I will do it. So that's how you get that. Insert a blank page. I only grab this as a placeholder. Obviously, this will not be your cover image. It's just as a thing. Again, you put the title wherever you want. If you want to use the text box, you can, but it won't show up in the formats. That's it. There's nothing else I can say about how to insert a chapter page. It's there. Insert a blank page. Do what you want with it. Images, they work pretty much as you would expect. If you go to the Insert tab of the ribbon, then you click Pictures. You can't see the pop-up menu, but there's a From This Device option. There's also a Stock Images option. I don't know how well that plays with the Community Content Platform Guidelines. I've never used a stock image in my content. You might have to email the contact address for that. But if you click From This Device, it will bring up a file, bring up Windows Explorer. And from there, you can go to the Trinity Core Assets folder that came with the template. And that has a whole bunch of art for from the core rulebook. If you're doing this for a different book or from a supplement, obviously the file directory will be slightly different and it will include different art. But I believe the rule of thumb is that you should only include art that is associated with that game line. So, for example, you probably shouldn't include Scion art or Dystopia Rising Evolution art in Trinity Continuum supplements, just as an FYI. And you should not use art packs provided by other community content platforms for StoryPath products. This is big no-no. Products are usually reviewed at some point, and you will be informed that your product has been taken down from sale. So that's fine. That's how you get an image into your text, and then it won't. Or usually by default, it will do that. It will look weird. It will be wrong. If you click, where is it? This image. Couple of blue lines with a black arch on it. Again, you can't see the pop-up button. It's there for me. That'll bring up the layout options menu. And if you hover over each of the options, it tells you what it does. For most of what you'll be doing, you'll want square with text, which does that, or which is good for like sidebars and things. Also, side note, I just clicked this image thinking it was the layout options button. Or you'll want top and bottom, which does that. It puts the image in the middle. And then when you move it, you'll get green guidelines, usually for the center of the page, vertical and horizontal. Sometimes Word will deign to show you the margins. And occasionally, if there's multiple images on a page, it will show you like in relation to those if the top's aligned, if the bottom's aligned, etc., etc., etc. With the title pages, it's exactly the same as this is an image. But if you're using a different image like I did earlier, I'll just grab that. Grab that image again. Again, all of the images I'm using here are provided, apart from the ones I've obviously taken as screen caps, are provided by Onyx Path for use in their community content platform. Technically, what you want to be doing is deleting that pink image because you won't be able to see it anyway. And then in the layout options menu that pops up from clicking on the little button, there's one where it's the blue lines with a grayed out arc, and that will put your image behind the text. Similarly, there's one that puts it in front of it, but as it's a chapter heading, you want it in front of the image so you can see it. Unless, as I said before, you're doing the hack where you type it and you put the image in front of the text. You know what, let's just do it in layout options. So you can still see the text is there in this practical example. Did I keep I deleted the text box, didn't I? I was a fool, but I can test it really quickly. If you do want to add a text box for whatever reason, in the Inserts tab, there's a text box option. And then there's a variety of things you can do with the text boxes, but you want the shape format tab. This is all explained, I think, in the how-to guide. But if you turn off the fill, I'll leave the outline on so you can see where the text box still is. But as I say, if you wanted to, you could type the. There's something going on with the alignment. That's all that's happening here. If you wanted to, you could type the header behind the image, as I've done here. Put the image in front of it, and then put the text box on, and then you can move. Select the text box. Then you can move the text box where you want, so the text is, wherever you want it to be. Or, as I've said in the guide itself, you just have the image behind it, and you just use alignment and spacing and line returns and things for the chapter header. It's entirely up to you which approach you take. Whoops. Again, there's something going on with the alignment. I'm not going to fix it right now. There is not, actually. It is centrally aligned. It's because the picture isn't big enough. There we go. Now it's central. Also note, this picture has a feathering effect. This is just because I don't like hard, solid lines. But there's a slew of options in the picture format tab. With the picture selected, you can choose a variety of ways to show the picture. This one mirrors it slightly. It's pretty cool. A little portrait, if you like that kind of thing. But I generally just have the feathered edges because it makes it easier to see. A note on chapter pages. Obviously, usually you'll want a full page image, so a portrait image. There is a way to turn off the picture style. Reset picture. There you go. It's right next to it. You fool. There's also a whole bunch of other things you can experiment with, but yeah, for a chapter page, you'll probably just want a full screen image, and portrait ones don't blow up don't degrade, sorry, in quality when you make them bigger. There's another. Again, if you set it to like normal, for example, put it in the line returns to get it roughly where you want it, and then you set it to the right style, you won't have to deal with the issue I've been having. Sometimes it'll say it's wrong for whatever reason, but it's not wrong. There we go. So that's chapter pages and inserting images covered. Your front cover, basically the same thing. It functions exactly the same way. You stick an image on it. If you want to save on file size, you can, if you click on the header, you can delete the image from the background, and then it's the exact same process of copy-paste an image into it, put it where you want to put it behind the text, and then stretch it so it fits. Something to be aware of, get rid of the text box. Again, you could do the exact same thing with, there's my name, who knew? You can do the exact same thing with this, that's not my name, as before, except in text boxes, you don't have to go into modifying the style. You can simply go to the shape format option at the top, and then all of the text fill, all of the text outline options become available to you, as do your shadows. Something to note, it's very important to note actually, when it comes to, depending on how you get your, why did that not change size? Okay. Depending on how you get your cover image into out of the Word document. So I use GIMP, for example. Once I'm finished with the document, I save it as a PDF. I then open it in GIMP, which is a Photoshop alternative, as layers. I open the cover page as its own layer, just the one image. And sometimes the text box doesn't play nice, and the letters have weird kerning, which is what's happened in the how-to guide front cover. So if you look at it carefully, the letters of my surname are kind of smushed together. It's just the way that the text boxes are handled. Incredibly important fact, however, even though this is the template, the front cover is not actually complete. You do need this little thing on it to show that it's... It actually doesn't matter which option you go with for layout options, but you need the StoryPath Nexus logo on it. I've never understood why they're not provided already on the front cover, but there we are. Do not do it in line with text. I do that every time. So yeah, you'll have to grab the StoryPath Nexus logo from the, in this instance, it's the Trinity Core TC Core Assets folder. It is included in there. And then you put it wherever you want it, as long as it can be seen to say that it's a StoryPath Nexus product rather than an official Onyx Path Publishing product. So that's the front cover. It's identical to the chapter page, just has a bit more information on it. General advice section, check the copyright date in the legal text. The template is just outdated at this point. So that's 2019. And also, this is the Trinity Continuum legal text, but it references Scion. So you'll want to change that to say Trinity Continuum. Headers and footers. You don't really need to know much about them, save for... All right, when I deleted the front cover, I broke things. Cool. So yes, headers and footers, you don't really need to know much about them. The background texture for the front cover was an image anchored into the header. That's all I'm going to say about that. But for page numbers, obviously they're automatically generated. But you'll see where it says section name, chapter name. If you want to name those individually... Oh god, where is this broken? Cool. Please bear with me while I see if I can fix... So this particular issue won't happen to you if you, I suspect, don't delete the front cover. But there we are. Where the page background in the footer has disappeared. See if I can fix it with Control V. No, I cannot, in fact, fix it with Control V. Oh, hang on. I think I've fixed it. I've just put it in the wrong place. Stick it in the header. Ha! I fixed it. I fixed the wrong page. It's the wrong page, but I have fixed it. So the page backgrounds are in the header. If you do delete them, as I have done, if you just double click, so to get to this header footer thing, double click in the header or the footer, and it'll bring up the header and footer tab. That's how you know you're in the right place, and the rest of the page, as you can see, goes transparent. The page backgrounds are, I believe, anchored in the header. So copy pasting from the header should, in theory, work here. Please bear with me. There we go. Now, it doesn't have the text boxes, and they are all, as you can see, on the wrong side. Again, this is something you don't need to know how to fix, so I'm including it just as a practical demonstration of I goofed. I need to... in this header still... Why is it not? There we go. Different odd and even pages. And then, in theory... if I... Oh yeah, I've really balked this. Yeesh. So at some point, I messed around and things broke. Again, it was probably when I deleted the front cover. But suffice to say, the pages should be like... Odd pages should have this bulgy bit at the left-hand side. And then... you know what? What I'll do is I'll just open the thing again. That'll work. You can have a preview of the how-to guide while I change this. Because even people who know what they're doing sometimes get it wrong. Where did I stick the... Oh no, it was just the template I need. I'm a fool! It's like nothing happened. Well, I mean, none of the text is there, but it should look like this with the alternating page numbers on each side. That's simply a function of the header. Sorry, not the header. Well, technically, so the image, I believe, is anchored in the header. So it is a function of the different odd and even pages box, where one image is assigned to odd pages and one image is assigned to even pages. This stuff down here is just text boxes. I think this is a field instead of a box. But again, the footer... So when you click on a page, it will default to the header. You have to click Go to Footer to see what options are in the footer. Again, it's default to odd and even, different odd and even pages, so that the number is in the right place on the right page, etc. This also means that you can have, as you see, chapter name and section name be completely different as text fields at the bottom of the page if you want them. You don't have to have them different. I generally don't, because in smaller books there's no real need to. I certainly have never found one, but you can. The only, I think the main other point for this section is... Yeah. How to change this stuff. So let's just do this for sake of argument. You'll never need to do this, but if you have the footer you want selected, why can I not link to previous? Is that not the same section? It is the same section. I don't know how to simulate this for you, chat. Oh, hang on. I know what's going on. I know what the problem is. If I delete this. There we go. I need to be able to see this. So in the footer, you can tell we're in the footer because the go to footer option is grayed out. That's very important when doing things of this nature. So this is based entirely on the section breaks that we put in earlier, or it would be had I not broken the document. Important to save. And if this is your first time doing it, save a different file every step of the process. So that if you do break it, you've got that backup. So we know we're in the footer because it's grayed out. So this section, section 2, is linked to section 1. So anything, hence linked to previous, is selected at the top. So anything I do in section 2, hi chat, will apply in section 1 as well. Obviously, not great if you want to individually label all of your chapters. So what you can do in the footer is you can unlink it. And so this says, hi chat. This says waves. Why did that not unlink? Microsoft Word, you have proven me a liar, and I dislike you for doing it. Okay, so the link to previous option has gone. It might have been in the header. I don't know. Maybe this time. Yeah, now it's fine. So, same as if the footer says same as previous, anything you do in the previous, anything you do will in that footer will affect that footer and anything that footer is connected to via same as previous. And then you again in the footer. Select. So that says maybe this time. Go down here. If you want to test it, make sure you're in the footer, in the header and footer tab. Go to footer. Link to previous. It brings up a prompt asking if you want to connect to the previous footer. You click yes, and it will connect it. And you know it's connected because it says same as previous, and also the section name has changed. That's it. It's exactly the same for where it says chapter name. Because the footers are set to different on odd and even pages, you just have to simply change each odd and even footer. Just pay attention to the sections. So this is section 2. So everything in section 2, if you unlink, I'll unlink again. Everything in section 2 will be the same on the odd pages. So if this were section 2, for example, it would still say chapter name. I would then have to change the section 2 even pages to whatever I want them to say. That's pretty much it. Nothing groundbreaking or new to say there. Just be aware, just always check if you're in the header or the footer. You can tell which one you're in because it grays out the option that you are in. It's very useful. What else? Where's my guide gone? Linking. And you just get out of the header and footer tab by clicking close header and footer. It's very, very self-explanatory. That's the wrong window to open. Odds are if something's gone wrong, section break is the culprit. I mentioned that before, but it's usually a section break or a page break, although I work mostly in sections, is the culprit for whatever's gone wrong. So please do you get used to using the Pilcrow to figure out where they are and experiment. And most Microsoft Word issues have happened before, so the internet is your friend. You'll just have to get used to, Googling it, or your search engine of choice, I should say. Right, do I still have... I do. So I will show you I might as well just show you the finished, air quotes, finished product for this. Where did that go? It is there. So when it comes to exporting the PDF, I can't show you any of this because Microsoft Word won't let me because of the way that I'm capturing it. But it works as you would save any document, file, save as. It brings, you can choose PDF as a file type. Then you click more options. And then you click, which will bring, more options will bring up like Windows Explorer. And then if you click options in that window, you get this window if you have PDF selected. And as long as you've got create bookmarks using headings selected, it will export your bookmarks. It will export your PDF. I've just realized I need to fix some section stuff in this guide. That's a practical example I can show you right now. It will export the PDF with bookmarks generated using your headings specifically. You can, if you want to, use Microsoft Word bookmarks. I just have not included that information because it's an extra step in the process. It's already an awkward enough process as it is. You'll note there's a point here about experiment with making PDF-A compliant or unchecking the bitmap text, etc. I had some issues with text box colors inverting, and just experimenting with those settings fixed that. So that's just how you might get around those issues. And then I mentioned earlier for the cover page, this is a Word template, not an image file. I don't know how to, if you can do it in Microsoft Word, I guess you could do a screen cap, but as I say, I save it as a PDF, and then I open the PDF in GIMP, which is a Photoshop substitute, because you can open, if you open it as layers, you can open just one page. I open the cover page, and then I save that as a PDF, as a PNG, sorry. I think it's a PNG. Yeah, PNG file, with a dimension of 900 by 1165, which is more or less well, technically it's the 820 by 1165 because it's a portrait image, but that fits with Drive-Thru's recommended file resolutions for their cover image on Drive-Thru RPG. And after this point, once you've got the PDF sorted, once you've got your cover page, once you've got your blurb sorted, I believe Awkward GM did a video, which should be up on Onyx Path's YouTube channel, I think, about how to actually upload your PDF to the StoryPath Nexus and begin making money from it. 50% royalties. Heck yes. Right, now I'm going to put my foot in my mouth and see if I can get this fixed. I need to unlink from previous. What's this? Exporting the PDF. Luckily, anything you do in the footer, if it is wrong, Control-Z does work. I think what has happened is my formatting has broken and pushed everything down a page. But I could be wrong about that. So that's now exporting the PDF. As you can see, this is same as previous. It is linked. So this is section 9. It is linked to section 8. So if I type in cover page, nothing will happen because it's technically an odd and even page thing. But just to be safe, if I do add to this document, I would like to unlink from the previous section so that nothing ever changes. And then this is the image page. Go to footer, link to previous. Images. So this should have changed down here to images as well because it's the same section. Well, it's not the same section, but it's continuous. Anyway, this is the front cover page. Again, go to footer. Even if you click in the footer, it will still stick you in the header, so do be aware of that. That's why I've mentioned 3 times now. Check which one you're in. Just make sure these are all the same. Okay, that needs to be set to chapter pages as well. General advice. I included general advice not at the end because it has pertinent information before you export the PDF. That's all. So these should still be the right thing. You'll notice these text boxes are misaligned. These numbers are misaligned as well, and the text boxes. Good luck fixing that. It is incredibly fiddly, and I did not have the patience when I was making this guide. I'm aware of it. I will eventually get around to doing it, but not right now. Chapter pages. So this is what I was trying to demonstrate with the sections before I deleted something that I shouldn't have deleted. But there's your practical example of how footers and things can be edited. And click save. But there we go. I know it's not the most cohesive, concentrated, focused video tutorial out there. And you will make this face at least once in the process. But hopefully it's been useful. Obviously, if you have any feedback, please let me know in the comment section of the YouTube video. This how-to guide, I will be updating with some things that I've noticed going through. I need to make a note to update it, I guess. It would best be served here. Hang on, please bear with me 1 second. making notes where as I've gone through I can probably update it or improve it. I think it was mostly just that, however. I think it was only just that one that is immediately jumping out at me. I'll try to look into tables for people who've asked about tables. You'll notice my legal text is different. I just copy paste the same legal text from every book I work on. Yes. So if you have feedback, comment, criticism, please do let me know in the YouTube video comments. If you do get this guide, again, it is free. This is the PDF that this has been a video walkthrough for. It is free. The link will be in the YouTube video description, but I've dropped in the Twitch chat for anyone who wants it. As you can see on the first page, the front matter, there is a link to a Google form where you can ask me to include content in the guide, and I will try to do so. I will try to update the product description to account for the fact that this is using Microsoft Word 365, and then, you know, like I guess the date of recording and guide writing, so that you know how long it's been and if Microsoft has updated Word significantly since then. Just trying to think if there's anything else pertinent I need to mention. If you are on the Onyx Path Discord server and you do have questions about layout, we're always happy to help. Some of us still use Microsoft Word. I would advocate, if you can afford it, Affinity Publisher. It's a one-off payment. It goes on sale quite often, so I'd just say keep checking. But it is, because it is publishing software. It's a lot easier to use the Microsoft Word, but this is here in case Word is all you have. And Word's what I started out with. I only moved over to Publisher, Affinity Publisher, because I was doing a much longer text and discovered that Microsoft Word has a cap on how many PDF bookmarks it can generate. I mentioned this before on stream. For community content, you probably won't hit that cap. It was well over 100. But just be aware of that. I think, well, I don't think it was well over 100. It was a large number. It was well over 10. I think it was probably over 20. So you'll probably be fine. But that's the purpose of the video and the book that you may have already obtained. It's free. It's pay what you want. If you do find some use out of it, please do consider buying it again. And I don't know why I quoted. It is, if you pay money for it, you have bought it. Please do consider buying it, but you don't have to. But I would be remiss before doing if I didn't shout out the Game Jam judges and organizers before I go into the outro. So shout out once again to Awkward Gem for arranging the Game Jam. Shout out to all of the judges for, you know, judging the Game Jam. And if you want to get involved in it, you have a couple of days left. There's an exclamation Nexus, I think was the command. Yeah, there you go. There's all the rules and the deadlines and the judgment criteria for the Game Jam itself. And if you go to this week's Monday meeting notes, there will be a link for the Curious Cats of Mao, which is the current crowdfunding campaign, adding the monarchies of Mao to the realms of Pugmire, updating them to match the updated system. That is a fantastic project, and there are there's a range of media linked in the Monday meeting notes to actual plays and interviews, as well as a solid chunk of blurb for House Smilodon from the developer Lauren Roy. The Monday meeting notes has a link to all of the extant entries to the Game Jam. Hang on. Awkward GM dropped a link to the full list earlier. Where did that go? Nope. There it is. That link contains all of the entries in the Game Jam currently. I have one in there, Begin Again. It's an introductory adventure to Trinity Continuum Core that is designed to introduce mechanics slowly. But it's not a quick start, it's not a jump start, because it's not official. It is just an adventure. I think that's it. The schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, all these times are in Eastern. Tomorrow at 11:30, the voting for the Game Jam opens. 11:30 p.m. specifically here at twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. Awkward GM will be opening the voting for the Game Jam. Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Kira's Cats of Mao, The Paw of Fate. An actual play run by Eddie Webb, with myself running tech and starring in it, as well as a couple of other players. It's going to be a fun time. Can't wait. Thursday at 8 p.m, the Game Jam Awards are announced. The winners are announced. Again, I'd like to be there, but as it's 1 o'clock in the morning for me, I'm not terribly hopeful. Friday at noon, they came from the Cyclops' Cave Warriors of Legend. The actual play continues, and that is also the media highlight for the past. The past episodes are highlighted in the media highlight for the week. Saturday at 2 p.m, Eddie Webb is on Meet Your Makers, presumably going to be talking about Curious Cats and Mao. And then Monday at 8 p.m, the ever-cursed Hunt of the Vigil Stuffed. It's just such a cursed title, which, on brand, but there we go. On sale this week, we have Trinity Continuum Aeon Tasty Bit Large Scale Space Combat. And I think that was it. If you have missed any of the stream and you're interested in it, if you are not subscribed to the Twitch channel, please do consider subscribing. Whether a paid posted an upcoming SGC in the Cyclops' Cave channel in our Discord. I saw it was. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Yes, if you missed any of the stream and you'd like to see it from the beginning, ordinarily, well, I'm going to tell you the same facts anyway, but this does not hold true for this show, for this very specific stream. Ordinarily, you would have to be a subscriber. You can subscribe normally, or if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to Twitch for a Prime Gaming account. Also, you wrote the large-scale combat notes. Big week, I suppose. Congratulations on them releasing. I will probably check it out. Yes, ordinarily you'd have to be a subscriber, whether a normal Twitch subscriber or a Prime Gaming subscriber, which is what you get when you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get 1 free subscription a month. And to watch the video immediately. However, I have had permission to upload this to YouTube today. So this will be going live on youtube.com/@ComradeBubbles later today, after I've finished the rest of the stuff I need to do today on Twitch, where you can just watch it from the beginning and go through my waffle. I will, at some point, probably next week, be timestamping it for ease of skipping through the video. It's not something I'm going to do for all of my behind-the-screen shows, because that's a lot of work, but I will do it for this because this is a tutorial, and hopefully it has been... I find it difficult to teach people when I can't see them, is the problem. So I am aware that I got a bit sidetracked and digressed slightly, and it wasn't terribly focused, but hopefully it has been a useful tutorial in some regard. But I think that's it. If you have any lingering questions, I will be in chat for about 5 minutes or so while the post-roll rolls. Also, you can find me on... Blue Sky at comradebubbles.bsky.social. It's mostly where I'm active on social media nowadays. If you would like, I'm gonna do my own pitch now. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/comradebubbles. I will be there in about half an hour. I'm just playing through Legacy of Kain Story Over 2, but I'm always happy to talk about role-playing stuff. Yes, if you have liked this tutorial and would like one as a more general how to use Microsoft Word as a layout program for TTRPGs, I have a Ko-Fi. I hate promoting it, but ko-fi.com/moonlitbard. And if I get enough interest enough support over there that I can justify taking the time out of writing and streaming to do it, because that one will take a bit more of an in-depth thing to do, and it probably won't sell. If I get enough support over there, I will consider doing it. How to make this tutorial go viral on YouTube? Oh, yes. YouTube is well known for putting 1 hour and 45-minute videos in their viral category. But yes, so if I get enough support on Ko-Fi, I will consider it. I can't guarantee it because I have other things I have to do, but it's there. I may do it eventually. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Again, hopefully this has been somewhat useful. And as I say, it is accurate with the version 1.1 of the PDF, which I will be putting live later this week, let's say. So you are watching this right now on Tuesday, the 27th of February. Common Era 2024 Common Era. You've actually had a preview of content that's not out yet. And if that isn't good value for free, I don't know what is. I'm just saying. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Hopefully you come back to twitch.tv/theonyxpath for any of the cool content that is coming later in the week. But I will be back theoretically in 2 weeks' time with a return to schedule with Pugmire material. Oh god, I need to sound like I know what I'm talking about again with calling creation. That's a problem for future, Ryan. Much love to you all. Please do stay safe. Please do stay healthy. Please do stay wholesome. And I will see you next time.